Theirs is a passion that gnaws deep at their very being, a passion to make a difference and cause change. They yearn to invent approaches and create solutions to change society for the better. Out of that deep-seated passion and desire, their non-for-profit organizations are born. Described as a third sector, the non-governmental domain is ridden with individuals who have little or no clue as to how a non-for-profit organization should be effectively managed in order to fully attain its mission and objectives. To better position them to deliver their varied services, platforms such as the Transformational Leadership Program were birthed.
Transformational Leadership Program, otherwise known as TLP, it's a program that is sponsored by the Coca-Cola Africa Foundation, but it's been managed and implemented through the African American Institute, AAI, and EDC is the coordinating partner for Nigeria. In Nigeria specifically, we focus on 4 key areas: health, education, environment, and water.
We realized that a lot of NGOs engage in an array of programs because of the fact that they have quite a bit of funding for those programs. Nonetheless, they end up being jack of all programs and masters of none.
We had a deal to train 120 of them over a period of 3 years, which we have done.
From different organizations that had gone through trials and errors via administrative methods, picked from here and there, they came.
I run to Executive Foundation. And what we do is we're an education enhancement organization. What that means is we support structures already in place. Before I came into the course, SSM course, we saw ourselves that we could do anything. We could work in health, or we were supporting children with health, supporting children with school fees. There's so many things that we're doing.
Startup Hub is a platform that provides acceleration to the growth process of startups through mentoring, capacity building, business development, and access to funds. Initially, I thought it was all about passion when you want to run a social enterprise, that the only thing you need is the passion and the vision of what you wanted to achieve. Sustainability was not on my mind, and of course, how to successfully manage the social enterprise.
I'm a founder of LOT Charity Foundation. LOT stands for Love on the Street. It's something I started from my bedroom floor in university. I think that was 2005, which was to celebrate street kids and vulnerable children. Before I came for SSM 1, what I used to do then was just go on the street and feed children. I didn't have a stable location. I'd taken care of like over 2,000 children on the all over in Lagos and in Nevada. But I didn't have a record with their name and ages, where to track them after programs.
What we do at CVL is we try to build leadership values in young people, and that has led us to setting up a center in VI that we call the CVL Leadership Development Center. I didn't know so much about running an NGO as a serious business before I came here. Things were not done the normal way. I didn't even know about trainings and partnership, networking, collaboration with other organizations.
I direct the affairs of Idea Builders Initiative. We work with women and girls. We empower women and equip them to make choices, make decisions, and stand up for themselves, claim their economic justice, their rights, take position in the economic space, and be participants in governance. What we've done to achieve this is through mentoring. We match young girls with older women to be mentored. The biggest thing I didn't know was what every NGO suffers, the M&E component of your programs. How do you monitor and evaluate your programs?
Ogo may never have started a non-governmental organization at all, but start one she did, and every day donned with a bag full of questions.
I was looking for a way of living with this condition. Made a whole lot of mistakes, was confused. I didn't even know the right thing to do. I asked a whole lot of questions and I didn't get answers.
We are engaged in social work, educational work, health, and pastoral. Here in this home, it's supposed to be a transit camp for a period of 6 months. It was meant to help the people who are in need of accommodation, clothing, and feeding. Before I went to SSM program, we are moved with compassion, and there's always passion in doing what we want to do, but we don't. I didn't think I had that idea of checking. Sit down, draw out everything, my plan, and then be able to see which way I'm going.
We offer trainings to underprivileged people free of charge. Before joining SSM, we had issues with structure, organizational structure, operational structure. We also had issues with sustainability.
The grand agenda was to develop a new wave of leaders, especially in the social sector, so that they will address 3 key areas which have been lacking, especially in our environment. The issue of credibility is a major one. People don't trust those that are working in this space. They believe that they take money and they squander the money. Secondly, for them as well, they are used to receiving grants and not thinking about the sustainability of this NGO, non-profits that they run. The third component that I see in this program, of course, is networking.
And leadership, of course. For what is a body without a head? What is an NGO without sound leadership?
Interestingly, leadership is something that, in as much as we talk so much about it, in for-profits, non-for-profits hardly ever focus on leadership. We find the social entrepreneurs and the non-for-profit founders discovering things about themselves, and especially things that, interestingly, they didn't know that it informed the way they thought about their projects, informed the way they led their non-for-profit organizations. One of the activities that they will do that will help them understand that it's really, really critical as a leader to set very clear direction is a leadership challenge game that they do in class. This game lets them understand that without very clear direction, without proper alignment within the organization and the teams and the resources, and without commitment, that there's no project or activity that they'll do to the satisfaction of their funders and to the benefit of the stakeholders in which that they're trying to serve.
Post-program, when the facilitators, coordinators, and TLP alumni met for a time of reflection to gauge the impact of the program over the last 3 years, it was apparent that there had been a paradigm shift on several levels for the TLP beneficiaries.
SSM actually put everything in perspective. One of the things EDC did for me was documentation. It was easy for me to then now put in place registers, the track record. You start the before and after, before the child, like a needs assessment. From Pan-African University, I started planning my succession plan right from after I left, and I was saying to myself, who do I leave this to? I need it to survive me without me being there physically. So
the very first thing I got to know is that I am doing no one a favor. Then another one was that it's purely a business.
One that should be pursued as efficiently and tenaciously as can be.
After the social sector management program, there are 3 key things that happen. First of all, I understood that to successfully run a social enterprise, you need to build a sustainable model that can outlive you, not just the passion alone. And the second thing that the impact the program had on me was in terms of building strategic partnership as one of the sustainable model of building a sustainable social enterprise, to have a strategic partnership with different organizations that shares the same vision that we do. And again, how to also build a strong board. Today we have a strong advisory board, so we are also accountable to them as well.
I did think I was working in a vacuum, and then when I got to the SSM program, I met other people working in the non-profit sector with women and girls, encouraged me to network. So the program opened a new vista of networking for me, and also challenged my personal views about development and how you should go about pursuing your passion. The SSM program put a structure into my mind about it is not just a passionate thing to do. There are ways to go about setting up an organization and delivering on your mandate. How do you monitor and evaluate your programs? I think that was a major thing that I took away from the SSM, because like the few weeks that we did that particular topic was enough to crystallize real action steps for me to bring back to my work. So I think for me that was the biggest. So the SSM program put it all together.
We are taught about the good board management and the bad one, and I am, because this home have board, but they don't seem to understand what it means to be in the board and what board means. We supposed to be in the board, what number and what is board supposed to do is not sitting back as we are told. The board has to help to run their affairs.
For most social entrepreneurs, it is not so much as identifying the problems as it is the wherewithal to fashion out the appropriate solutions.
Every magazine creates dental awareness for people. I can tell you where I was when I started the SSM, because I was almost giving up. It helped me to learn sustainability. So I re-strategized based on the thing that I learned at the SSM. One of the things that I learned at the SSM, they helped me to understand the importance of having different streams of income. Now I'm able to train based on my training experience that I had. I was able to infuse it in my dental health program. Dental health activities. I infuse that. I train dental nurses. I also recruit. That way, I'm able to generate some income to help me raise, the magazine. Make sure that I do the magazine as I went due.
Discovered today, after listening to quite a number of the participants, that they are a lot more focused. There's a whole lot more structure in their organizations, and that has translated into integrity, accountability, and a lot of credibility.
After the program, I've been able to build a proper structure, management structure and operational structure. And we've also been able to find ways to sustain the programs that we offer. We've also been able to drop some projects that have not been needed by this community, because what happened was we're running projects and activities based on our own thoughts of what people needed.
What we do is social enterprise, trying to see how we could use the not-for-profit sector to impact the lives of other people. One thing that SSM taught me is you have to be visible. If you're not visible, you're going to weigh yourself down, and you won't be able to get the kind of support and leverage that you need to do. So I can say that before SSM, we weren't visible on social media, but right now, one of our best ways of communicating our results and sharing what we do is through Facebook and other social media platform. The last course that we talked on in SSM, because I'm one of the first, the pioneer SSM 1, was about sustainability, and we shared this case study where a particular organization was still doing their not-for-profit, but they had a for-profit arm that was generating money, and also the money generated from that avenue is being plowed back. So basically we took that away, and right now we have a registered for profit, even though it's still growing, but at least we know that somewhere down the line it's going to be like a social fund that profits that are generated from it will be. So with that, our mind is at rest.
Since I have attended the program, it's not been business as usual. The jotter I used for my program is still with me. I wrote there, NGO is a serious business. That was the first change in mindset I got. I think it was the second day I started the program. So it's no longer something I have to be running as if it's a family affair or something. We now had to decide that we need to also rebrand the organization in different ways. Our location, we moved our office from Surulere, where we were before, to VI.
It was a life-changing experience, so I can confidently tell people I'm a social entrepreneur.
Where there was once gaps in the areas of financial accountability, project implementation reporting, networking, monitoring and evaluation, and effective organizational management, Now, there is the fluid of the invaluable wisdom and knowledge gained from the SSM program flowing through the activities and actions of these social entrepreneurs down to the end users.
People that may want to partner with them will see value in what they are doing. So it's an exchange of value for the sponsorship rather than you are going and begging at all times.
We hope that the program will continue to help other CBOs, other community-based organizations that might not even know how to run an organization, because for 4 years after joining my organization, I tried to find places where I could get training on this, and I didn't find any.
The SSM program is a good program to run. I don't know why they're stopping at 4. I think they should go on to 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, because there's so many non-profit organizations in the country that the founders and the executive directors, the board, the trustees, the staff are totally clueless.
Gauging from the passion sporting from the recipients of the SSM program, the effect of the program will yet flow afar. And with the do's and don'ts, the how-to list garnered, these agents of change will now more than ever continue to innovate solutions to society's most pressing problems, thus enhancing sustainable development in the communities where they operate, as they go on spreading dust of change in their wake for the good of all.